we are very familiar with since our childhood. Those who fails to plan, plans to fail. And I think this is the apt description of a medical life, because there are a lot of things to do and each part contains a huge portion. So to deal with everything, sometimes it becomes really difficult. So we need to find a smarter way to cope up with everything in the defined period of time, because time is limited. Hello everyone, myself Upasona Panday, third professional MBBS student from NRSMC. Dealing with second year is tough, especially because this is the first time you are exposed to such a huge syllabus. Because in comparison to the syllabus of first year, second year is huge and students find it difficult to cope up with things. Those are actually volatile. Amidst of all these things, the most important thing that you should keep in your mind is the foundation that you build in the second year is the core of your medical career, be it pathology, be it pharmacology. There's two subjects that are the most important, and you can't neglect microbiology, because every here and then people visiting our clinic would be suffering from some kind of bacterial or viral or fungal infection. So these three subjects are super important and super volatile and too much. So we need to find some better ways to deal with this. Let's begin. The first thing that we should be doing is choosing the right book. If you have gone through my study with me videos, you are quite familiar with the books that I follow, that I used to follow in second year, that is Robbins, KDT and Apurva Shastri. But very soon I will be making another video which will be suggesting a lot more about the books. So keep it track. After choosing the right book, let's go step by step. In this era of online studies, which started right from the pandemic period, most of us are having the subscriptions from Marrow or PrepLadder or any other coaching institute. And there are some good amounts of videos that are super important. I myself have Marrow, which I follow from the bottom of my heart, and I go through every content of Marrow, be it the videos, be it the question bank. Test series I personally have not gone through that, but that's fine. So you'll get super videos there. Watch them. Hey, do you plan to watch them sitting idle? No, never. Make your process an active one. Make your process an active one, so that you can focus, you can stay focused. Take out a notebook and write down everything that you hear. Because making notes, making the gist of what you hear is super important. And I really appreciate those students who make their own notes, because there are pre-written notes that are available in the market. Those are very much important for those who are running lack of time, who are running short of time. For example, the interns who really have very short time and really have to prepare a huge syllabus. For them, these pre-written notes are absolutely important, but I don't think a student from second year should rely on them. But okay, if you think so, that's okay, because not everyone has the same thing process. But even if you have the pre-written notes, keep a copy and write a gist of what you hear, because that engages your mind like a double. So you tend to remember things more accurately and understand concepts, because whenever you are listening and writing, whenever you can produce the thing, that means you've got the thing. So even if you have pre-written notes, do make a note of what you hear. That is super important. Now, if you ask me when to complete your videos, I will say complete your videos as soon as possible. Because the sooner you complete your videos, the more time you get to revise your stuff. After completing your videos, you should be going through your notes. Revise them, and then you should pick up book, a textbook, not a review one, not a question answer one, but a textbook, and go through that thoroughly. Whenever you are going through a video, you are quite acquainted of the topics that you should be knowing. Read them, the book will will become concise on its own only. If you're going through a review book or a question answer book, that is very pretty when your exams are very near, just knocking at your door. But throughout the year, don't go through them. Don't rely upon them. Rely upon textbooks. As I always say, right? You got admitted to a medical college not just to get a degree, but to become a doctor and treat those who are needy. To treat a patient, you need to know about the disease, which is best explained in textbooks, not in your review books or your question answer book. Okay? Now, when we are clear with our books, we need to focus on a very important thing, right? Very important thing, that is attending your lectures. We are through the era of pandemic. We have cleared that era. We have passed that era. Now our classes are quite regular. We all are living in a hostel or traveling to our college. Don't skip your med classes because someone inspired you to. Look, from my practical experience, I'm telling you, we have been promoted to part 1, third professional MBBS. 2 months, right? During these 2 months, I have attended many lectures. In some days, I attend all the lectures, and in some days when I feel I have some more important stuff to skip. You will be skipping classes, that is normal, because there are so many things and you have to keep it pace with everything. But don't skip the classes, those are valuable. And the higher you go in your medical college, you will understand that the importance of classes increases. Because the higher you go, things become more practical, things become more applied, and merely those narrow lectures or your textbook will not tell you about practical things. That you have to be listening to someone who is doing that there only. So don't skip your classes. Go to your classes. Man, this is very much important. Now you will tell me that if you go to class, you will have no time to study. Yes, if you go to class, you will run lack of time. The day we are having our ENT practicals, we go to, I go to college 10 a.m. from their clinic starts, and our ENT practical ends at 7 p.m. So 9 hours in college, 6 hours sleep, food, bathing, talking, when to study. Yes, definitely. But if you are attending your lectures, you will be up to date with your study. You will be studying the things that are being taught, and that will give you a practice like we used to follow in our school days. We used to have a up to date study, which we lack nowadays. There is the root problem. So if you go to college regularly, you will have that instinct to study that, and you will be quite acquainted with your syllabus. That will reduce your load and will keep you quite regular, and you will be having a smart approach to your study. And man, clinics, don't skip them. Go to your clinics. Go to your clinics classes. Read about them, listen to them. I feel OPD is the best place to study, best place to learn things, or you may even go to emergency. And just stand there and look at whatever happens. Take a pen and copy, go there, stand there, and listen to what is happening there. Listen to the patient's complaint, because you will not get things that are written on books. You will be listening to what the patient says, and you have to be familiar with that. So you can go to OPD or emergency. Those are two very important places where you can learn practical things. Going to the OP and watching the operations being done is very useful, but the most important thing I feel is attending OPD. And yes, try learning taking history, because in part 1 you have to learn, and I think in your clinics in second year you are already being taught about that. Keep a habit of that. Go to your wards in any of your time. Nobody will scold you. You will go talk to any of your resident Dada Didi or your intern Dada Didi and tell them that you have come here to take a history of things. Please suggest us a patient that we can be acquainted with, we can be comfortable with. You will take this suggestion, go to that patient, man, and take history. Talk to them, because throughout your life that is what you will get to hear. You will get to hear what the patient says, not what is written on your books. But you will have to have a good theoretical background, because you need to correlate your patient's complaints with your theory knowledge. So you have to do that side by side and try to connect the dots, make a bridge so that you can walk through them and have a smooth life. Okay. And very important thing that you should remember that narrow, fifth ladder, these videos are very useful. But this can't replace your college days. Those are valuable. Don't try to segregate yourself. You will lose things. You will lose the joy of learning at your place. Your life will become caged. Get out of this. Get out of this. Go to your class. You will have so many people to talk to. You will have your professors to interact with, and you will be learning from them, from the doctors. In front, you can share your problem. Don't skip the classes. Don't try to replace one thing with the other. Try to understand the importance of each and every valuable thing. Okay. Now you will say me that second day is very volatile. Yes, I know. Pathology is so conceptual, but there are yet a lot of things that you need to keep in your mind. You need to keep the information. Otherwise, you will stutter. You will not get any clue to go forward. So you have to keep a memory of a lot of things. Now remember how we solved inorganic chemistry in class 11 and 12? Only MCQ, because we had no clue, no logic in most of the things, and we had to learn things. How we did that? We did that by our MCQs, practicing hell lot MCQs from inorganic chemistry. Apply the same thing here. Practice MCQs. MCQs will clear your concepts definitely and help you remember things. Help you remember things that you should remember. There are so many drugs here. Yes, the choice of three drugs is confined, but the choice of drugs from patient to patient is not confined, and that will vary. So keep a practice of MCQ. And microbiology, if you do MCQs, you will be through and through this. You will tend to forget less and will understand concepts better. So these are the few things that I feel you should be doing in your second year. And very soon I'll be making a video on books and very important and many other important topics. If you have not gone through my previous video about the struggle before my second year final exam, click on this window and go to that video, watch that, like the video. If you are new here, subscribe to our channel. Thank you, keep supporting and keep studying because you are going to be the doctors. Bye bye, take care.